What is the most exciting and most significant thing that you can do in life? That is to write a book about yourself, a book that people must read, but the subject is you. Why is writing such a book important? Because that tells you everything about you that the world should know. And that writing that book could be an enormous soul searching exercise for yourself. What has worked, what did not work. So, but how do you do that? Writing is always a cumbersome thing. It takes a long time. Not anymore. Technology is here. Now you can speak your book. And by speaking your book, you can have your first draft, which you can perfect as time goes along. No, I'm not asking you to become an instant writer. No, I'm not asking you to become a bestseller. I am asking you to do that journey for yourself because you wanted to write this book. In fact, you wanted to read this book, the book about yourself. The book that no biographer can write, no author other than you can write. It's your book. It's about your life. So what do we say in that book? We say many things. Number one, we speak about people who influenced us, the teams, the partnerships, the colleagues that helped us, the people who brought us here, the congruence that brought us here, your parents, your siblings, your spouse, or all those twin engines that worked with you. What an enormous amount of things you can say about the people who brought you here. What's the second thing you speak about? You speak about events. What kind of events? Happy events, terrible events, about windfalls, lucky ones, about catastrophes and disasters which you never expected. You planned and something else happened. But how did you cope? What is your resilience quotient? Well, you can go back and look at it. How did you survive? What was your survival mechanism? Let the world learn from it. That is probably one of the greatest things that you can ever tell the world. How did you manage? How did you survive? It has happened to everyone else. Things happen differently than they expected. But then everybody copes. Very few people actually succumbed. There are phoenixes among us. We rise above everything. But let us go back to those precious moments where we stood on our own and found our path. Then we look at our legacies. What are we leaving behind? What would be the epitaph on us when we die? What will we be remembered for? What is the difference that we made to the world? And how did we make that difference? Now, all this is extremely insightful for a forthcoming generation. That's what your legacy is. That's what you are leaving behind. But let us leave it in writing. So the next thing you speak about is your work. How did you do it? What was your work ethics? What was your work pattern? What is the systems that you established? And how come you were more successful than the rest of us around you? Because you had a system, because you invented, you managed, and you worked with teams. So all this is very valuable for the generation that comes to. Once you looked at people, events, and your legacy and your work ethics, then you have to look at how have you balanced yourself. How did you balance between body and soul, spirit and mind? How did we do all this? So that is something very important that we need to remember. And once we know how the balances happened in our life, how we achieved harmony, what did we give, the joy of giving, the art of giving, what did we give, what did we get, and how much did we give, what are the big celebrations in our life, how are we playing it, what are the small celebrations, what are the daily celebrations, what are those moments of happiness, because we are born to play, we are free children. So let us record our joys. Let us show to the world, join our happiness and repeat and replicate our happiness. All this is possible when you join my community. So join my community. When you finish watching this small video, click the link below and join my community. See you there in my community. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.